I have no clue how to do this. Please bear with me. Okay, I think I figured it out. If you guys can hear me, type something in the chat. Appreciate the words, Lex. Appreciate the words. All right, how this is gonna work, guys? I'm like 10 minutes late, so people might have dropped off a little bit. But um, all you guys have to do, if you have questions, just a live Q&A. So I'll share my screen if anything needs to be explained deeper. But for you guys that are in here right now, I would feel free to just start typing any questions you have, and I will do my best to begin answering them. Someone who doesn't have enough starting capital, what advice would you give about financing tools through a company like Extreme Polishing Systems in order to get started in epoxy business? So XPS doesn't have enough starting capital. What advice would you give about financing tools? Um, personally, I don't know how much I recommend about starting a business and going straight into financing. Businesses alone are already very, very easy to get into debt. Um, so if you don't have the means of funds, you don't have to buy the nicest equipment. Now, I will pull up a grinder that is just like it's all you need literally to start. And this is like a nice one. You can get some at Home Depot for $200-300, or yeah, Facebook Marketplace. But let me share my screen. Okay, so this is the Metabo hand grinder. This is what we use, and this is overkill for a hand grinder. Like this is a very, very nice one. Um, so this one I would say is definitely on the pricier side for a hand grinder. It's $800, but it is very good. Now you could just get a Makita hand grinder, and now we want a 7-inch hand grinder. We don't want these 4 or 5-inch. Okay, so yeah, 200 bucks, 200 bucks, 250. You could start with something like this. You could use a normal shop vac that costs, $60. You definitely don't have to get crazy with buying a bunch of tools up front until you can begin to reinvest profits. I got a buffer for $200 yesterday on Facebook. Yeah, see, that's perfect. You can find the deals. I definitely wouldn't go the route of like buying something brand new just right off the bat, personally, unless you have money. But it doesn't sound like you do, so I wouldn't recommend going that route. Sorry, I'm trying to post on my story. This is my first time doing a live on YouTube too, so bear with me if it's messed up. This is your one and only time to answer question or for me to answer questions. So just keep asking away in the chat if you have questions, and I will continue to kind of talk about them. Or if there's something in specific you guys want me to talk about, I can talk about it. Yeah, the 997 Jose has direct access to me. So that's going to be the chat that I'm active in. Whereas the free chat, I'll pop in every once in a while just to make sure people are being nice to each other. Um, but yeah, the 997 is that's where I spend my time. That in the workshop group chat, um, that is where I will be. And in that one, that's where we do calls and we'll do basically Q and A's like this, um, just not, you know, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, we'll do the same style Q and A's inside the 997 group. This life is a blessing. Y'all wanting to give y'all a shout out and talk. No, I appreciate you, Lex. I appreciate you, bro. I try and give as much game as I can. It is hard. It's hard to get the time out, but I like to be able to do stuff like this every once in a while. So the 2000, Jose, let me just show you. So 2000 is going to be for a workshop. So that's completely in person. So if you're doing anything um, $2,000 related for the workshop, that's gonna get you access to come learn epoxy hands-on in person. Whereas the 997 is basically for people that don't have the full budget to come out and fly out to California, stay the 3 days. They can't get that experience. It's like the next best thing because you get everything that the class has, just minus the in-person part. Um, and then I do have the one-on-one, which is if you want to, it's basically the 997 community, and then me and you work week by week, like together. So I'm like actually involved in starting your business. It's a lot more in depth. It's not just like me hopping in a general chat and like answering a question. It's like I'm actually like a partner with you. Do you have crews doing multiple jobs a week for you, or are you doing the most work yourself right now? What kind of path is there for future to exit sale with this business? Um, so right now we have two crews. Um, and I don't do epoxy myself. I've said this a couple times. I know not everyone understands that, but I don't actually touch a floor. Like I'm not a contractor. I don't do any of the work. Um, when it comes to install side, I know how to do it all, but I'm not the one doing it. My partner Kevin used to be the one that was doing it, but now he's barely touching floors, and we've kind of outsourced everything to teams. So yeah, we have jobs going on often. At the same time, I'm not there. Neither is Kevin. But future to exit sale with the business. I mean, if your business makes money, if your business is profitable, you can sell your business. It's as simple as that. I mean, we also have a lot of data with Facebook. So if someone was looking to take over our business and just like for our ad account alone, we have over $50,000 spent in our ad account. And having that data, if someone else wanted to use our Facebook ads account to run another service business in our target area, they could. So I definitely think there's potential to exit if that was ever one of our goals. And at the moment, it's not, but there definitely is potential. I know many people who have gotten bought out. So why the fuck are you doing a Q and A on it? Just I got no clue what that means. If your business is profitable, you can sell it. Oh shit, man! Thanks for your groundbreaking information. I don't get the purpose of what you're trying to say. Whoever has a real, yeah, I know. Gotta go to timeout, unfortunately. Everyone say bye, Jess, in the chat. What kind of multiple will P firms or whatever? That you guys fucking weird. Um, what kind of multiple PE firms or whatever larger companies buying pay for an epoxy business? Do you know? It's not something that I know because it's not something that I'm really putting my focus and energy in. Um, I'm not really looking to actively sell, so I don't have the best questions. I don't have the best answers to that question. Um, so I can't really push you in the right direction, but I know that it's a thing to swoop up profitable blue collar service based businesses. Um, my buddy's in acquisitions, and he just did a merger on a company that's local to us that was electrical, and they were, gross revenue like I think around $12 million a year, and I think almost $1 million of that was profit, and they were selling for like $6 to $8 million or something like that. So I know service businesses get up epoxy. I mean, it's different than electrical, but it's all the same concept. God, I'm just getting spammed out by everything right now. What the hell's happening? Jose, when you say how much is that, are you referring to the one-on-one? Because the one-on-one is the same price as the workshop. It's not something that is always available, unlike workshops and the other offer, but it all just kind of depends on what you're trying to do or what the goal is. But please feel free, ask more questions while I have you guys. We're going to do this for probably another 30 minutes. Now is your chance. No question is stupid question. You guys gonna make me talk to myself. Anything you want me to go over, anything you have questions about, now is your chance. Okay, well, for those of you that are watching, if you're not yet, I'm closing this community. It's free. At 100 people. There's 66 people in it right now. I put the link in the chat. It lets me put it. God damn, I don't know how to work YouTube. I can see who's in here. You guys better say something, or else I'm just going to end the stream. Is there any much questions being answered? And that is the whole point. Dude, what the hell is up with my fucking chat? Sorry, I could not see your guys' questions. I don't know what the fuck is going on with my thing. Um, on average, how long does it take for students to start on their own? Um, I think it depends on each person. I wouldn't say there's a I wouldn't say there's like an exact timeline. Everyone's different. You know, I've worked with this kid named Chase. You guys have probably seen his epoxy videos on Instagram, but I worked with Chase for a month, and dude, that kid is just like he's killing it. Like he's doing so well. Um, and that was just from like that was literally within the first 2 3 weeks working with him. He Chase did a one-on-one with me back like when I first started posting on Instagram. Um, so I mean, Chase had done 3 or 4 jobs, but was nowhere near where he was, and, um, Chase is as busy as I am, I'd say. Like, that guy's always doing floors because he literally just did what I told him to do and started taking action. So, I mean, he was all in. That's the difference. A lot of people that start have jobs or, like, are in school, and it's, like, really hard for me to help you if you're doing something else. Like, if you're all in on epoxy, I can help you so much easier, and I can be that much more confident in you getting results because if you're all in on something and there's no second choice, you're really not going to have an option to fail. Slowly collecting my tools, partner up with an existing epoxy company. They charge about $6 per square foot for flakes and 11 or more for metallic. How much should I negotiate my pay as a subcontractor? Okay, So we pay subs hourly. We don't really let them give us a rate. So I think that's going to be kind of a hard pitch. I mean, I would take what you can get. If you don't have experience, I think it's worth it to just get on a job, whether, it's just to build that relationship up. But I think it is a little harder to negotiate unless you have a lot of experience. Like guys that are experienced, we're paying 40, $50 an hour because they can bang jobs out on their own. They have all the tools, they don't need to use anything. Uh, So I think it really depends on how much value you're bringing to that epoxy company. But I would ignore their pricing. And if they're charging that, that's very similar to what we charge, if not like exactly what I charge. We're paying subs minimum with like no experience, $25 an hour. Um, so take that with a grain of salt. We used to pay $200, 150 to $200 per day per job for like non-experienced subs. When you're a sub, a lot of people will charge or negotiate by square foot. So we used to have subs that we'd have a 4,000 square foot job and they'd be like, I want $1 per square foot. So they wanted 4 grand for the same work they'd be doing. So we don't pay based off job size. If you're coming to work, you're coming to work. That's why we pay hourly. It doesn't matter what size of a job we're on, we're paying you the same amount no matter what. So I wouldn't try and negotiate with an epoxy business when it comes down to like job or the percentage or square feet. We have to pay taxes, we have to pay employees, we have to pay insurance. It's just like it's not a negotiation. You're going to get paid what you're going to get paid, unfortunately. When starting out, it's just kind of like that. How do you find most of your customers, Facebook or Google Ads? We find all of our customers on Facebook. I do not run Google Ads. I will be running Google Ads. I just had my entire website rebuilt. Um, to be super SEO optimized. So I will be running Google Ads very soon, and I'll be able to report back on whether they're just as good as Facebook. But I get all of my clients on Facebook, and I can show you guys my campaign if you'd like. So I know people love to see that, and we have been spending money like fucking crazy, dude. Do you use Jobber as well? I do. We do use Jobber. Um, Dude, Jobber is just so freaking good. I get why everyone uses them. I mean, they use it because they're just so tailored towards um, service-based businesses. Like they just make it so freaking easy. So that is why everyone uses Jobber. If you guys want to use Jobber, or if you guys just want to look at it, I can put a link so you guys can go see what Jobber is. But I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of it by now. I've talked about it a bunch. Jobber is one of my partners, so that's why I'm always going to plug them. But they have a great product, and I use it myself. So if you guys want to use Jobber, I'll put the link in the chat. But I'll go and I'll share my screen right now, so you guys can take a look at my ad campaign for the past couple of days. It's not letting me zoom in, so I'm sorry if you guys can't see that well, but $61 per lead. Our lead cost has been absurdly high. We're running at $300 a day, which is a lot. We spent $2,500 in the last 7 days. Um, we're running one campaign, 2 ad sets. The only thing that's different between these ad set is one is Orange County, the other one is Oceanside. So we're just testing to see which we're getting better results from. $53 per lead for Orange County and $68 for Oceanside. And then we just run Instagram videos as a creative. And this one is at $3 per lead. That's fucking crazy. And it's getting no budget, of course, because Facebook is weird. But that is my ad campaign that I run. I literally let Facebook do everything. I don't put any targeting. I don't touch age. I don't touch locate. I only touch location. It's the only thing I touch. And I go over that if you guys are in any of the communities. I've never worked with epoxy, and I'm very close to being ready to lay the flooring in my basement. What kind of advice? Um, Brother, watch my YouTube videos. I have free YouTube videos showing you exactly how to do a metallic floor. Um, so, bunch of free resources for you. If you have any questions, I would just watch my YouTube videos. I have multiple metallic floor breakdowns going over the exact steps, or join the community. We also have a bunch more data in there, but a lot of resources for people that are trying to do the first floor. What do you suggest I buy? Been stuck. I'm not sure what you should buy. I don't get it. You need to buy a grinder and a vacuum, and buy some squeegees and some rollers, and then buy some material. That's all you're gonna need. A hair jobber is good, but payment from customers are delayed 1 to 2 days, and it gets more expensive as you grow. Um, Payments are pretty standard. We get paid out, 2 to 3 days after that money, after the customer pays, which is like standard. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal at all. We're never like waiting for jobber to pay out. As soon as the money becomes available, it's like you're going to get paid out. It's pretty standard. I wouldn't say it's slow by any means. Um, and it gets more expensive as you grow. I mean, it gets more expensive, the cost per month, yes, because that is just how any software works. Um, yeah, I mean, you're growing, they grow with you. So I mean, you if you're gonna grow, they're gonna take a part of that piece as well, just because the systems in place only get more advanced as you begin to scale. But I don't fees should not get any more if you're making more money. If anything, they should become less. Do you guys do countertops? So we do not. Um, we've been asked before, but it's we're just I don't know. It's not our cup of tea. I wouldn't say we're like against doing it, but we've never actually done it. It takes a lot more prep work. It's definitely going to be a more expensive per square foot price, since when you're working on the interior of houses, there's a lot of masking and taping you're going to have to do to prevent material getting on things that should not be getting on. And it's also more inconvenient for the homeowner. They actually have to exit their house, takes more time. So I think it's almost like a different service altogether. So that's kind of the reasons why we don't do it. We're kind of garage focused or just warehouse focused. But feel free to do countertops. It's uh, exact same system. Follow the exact same blueprint on how to do floor on a countertop, and then you don't need a big grinder. You just need a hand grinder. All right, guys, we're about halfway through. So, any last topics, conversations? Dude, what the fuck is happening? And just FYI, I'm gonna be closing this free group chat before 100. I'm getting so many people joining that's like spam, so I'm most likely gonna close that when we're done with this call. So for anyone that's not in it, I would recommend clicking the link and joining it if you guys want to join the free community. We're getting a lot of spam people joining. You provide contracts for your jobs. Yeah. So inside Jobber, once again, this is why we use Jobber is because they make sending contracts and signing so easy when you send a quote. So when people, our process works is once we go and do a bid and we see the job in person, we're going to send them a quote. And that quote's going to go over everything we saw, everything we talked over, whatever finish they selected. And if they want to go ahead and get booked onto our calendar, they have to pay a deposit. So they have to pay a 30% deposit and they have to sign our terms of service, which is making sure, everything is kind of squared away. They understand how epoxy works, that there could be bubbles. And if there is, this is how we work around it. And it's an artistic finish. We can't replicate anything. So we definitely make sure we're covered as much as we can. And our contracts automatically get signed. You have to sign it in order to move forward with even getting on our books. So, yes, we do provide contracts for every single job. And I would recommend you guys all do the same. They would have to pay. They would have to pay. It's as simple as that. I mean, we go over it on our contract. You reached out to us because you like what we did. It's like if you really don't like it, I mean, it doesn't happen often. Like I don't remember the last time that's happened because we're throughout the whole process. I mean, they're showing us our own work of what they like. So they're showing us either a video from our Instagram or something like that. They're never referencing other people's work. They're always referencing our own. So that makes it super, super easy. When you have people referencing like other people's metallic work and they want you to kind of recreate that, that's when you're going to run into issues. Luckily, at quotes, we're not showing people other people's work. We're showing people our work. So there's never really that discrepancy of like, I don't like the design. It's like you knew exactly what you're getting into. That just doesn't really happen. Uh, but if they did, they would have to pay uh, to get it redone. It wouldn't be the full price, but they would have to pay for whatever labor and material costed to do it all over again. Because that's just like not fair to us unless we like completely botched the floor and it looked like shit. And it's like that's different. But that's just not really happening. All right, guys, I'm gonna do 15 more minutes. So any last kind of topics, questions, feel free to type them um, in the chat. Let me see if I missed any questions. What would you say is a good budget when you don't have as much funds to run ads and still get good results? I would say minimum to run ads, minimum you're gonna need $25 a day. Minimum. Anything less, you're not gonna get it's not enough money for Facebook um, to really work with and get data. The reason why our ads do so well is because not only are we giving them a healthy budget, we also have a lot of data. And when I say data, I mean Instagram views. We have a lot of organic traction that helps Instagram know where to put our content and our ads in front of. So it makes our ads perform much better than someone who has 0 followers and, you know, has never had anyone like a photo. Whereas we've had millions and millions of views, millions of likes and saves and direct messages. All of that data helps when running ads. So, good budget to start. You're going to need to have a minimum of $25 to spend per day, which is a couple $100 a month. It would probably be right under $1,000 because Facebook sometimes overspends to try and learn more. I believe in you, Jose. Stack up some bread, follow the steps. You'll be good, bro. Don't overthink it. Don't stress. Just start. It's my advice to you. Don't think about how much money you need for ads. Just start. When that problem comes and you need more clients, then you can think about it. But till then, only think about what's right in front of you. Yes, sir. Oh, do it, Jose. Do it. I'll see you in there, brother. We'll we'll get to work. We'll get you dialed in. We will get you dialed the fuck in. I can promise you that. Questions, questions. Going once, going twice. Getting close to the end, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm gonna give it till 3:50. We're not getting any more questions. I'm probably going to wrap it up. What would you tell a newbie that makes a mistake on their first job? Good job. I would say good fucking job. I'd say make as many mistakes as you can on your first job. Fuck up the floor. That's why I recommend doing your first job on like a family member's house. I recommend doing your first job not on a client's floor. That's why I encourage people to come to workshops, to come to in-person events, because that is your chance to fuck up our floor. We'll fix it. I promise you. That is why I think workshops and hands-on is very, very important. But if you don't get the luxury to do that, which I understand, it's expensive and not everyone can come to a class, ask a family member. Do it on in your backyard. Do anything. Because I promise you, you want to make mistakes as fast as you possibly can. Definitely don't be afraid to fuck up. That's the only way you're going to learn in this industry. You have to fuck up someone's floor. You have to redo a floor. That's how you learn. Like we still mess up all the time. Like we are not perfect by any means. We've been in business for 3 years and we fuck up people's floors all the time still. We have to go back and redo it. But then that's another thing we just learned. Another material we know never to use again. Another tool that doesn't do its job. This industry is all about making mistakes and learning from them. So I would tell a newbie to make as many mistakes as possible on your first job. So then when you begin scaling, you're prepared. And you're not so scared. Being in the business for the amount of time you've been in, out of four, what has been the busiest months? Good question. Summer. Summer for sure. We're always busy in the summer. Um, we've been busy one time in like Q1, which is like January to March. Uh, we've been busy like once in that time, uh, but I would say summer always is always our busiest time. Winter slows down, and when I mean slows down, it's like we run ads, so it's like we're paying for the traffic if we're not getting it from referrals or organically through Instagram. People like searching it up, so slows down. Yes, um, but dude, it's hard to track. The only thing we've actually really noticed is that in summer, we're always our busiest. Like we're always busy. We're always still doing jobs throughout the year. Like sometimes our Q1, the beginning of the year was like the we were slammed. We made so much money in the beginning of the year and it slowed down to summer. It was weird. Um, but 3, 4 years in, there's a noticeable pattern in summer. Winter though, I wouldn't say it slows. I guess it slows down. It's not as busy as summer, but there's still work. There's always going to be work. When would you use a notched? We don't use notched. I get that question so many times. We do not use any type of. It's it's honestly for noobs. Like if you're using notched squeegees or things like that to apply material, it's like it's like using the chopstick fucking things that like help you use chopsticks. It just helps you make it so it's even. But if you know how to squeegee and you're cross rolling, it's gonna be even. So I we do not use anything with notches to spread material. I hope that's what you're asking. I don't know what you trowel. I think that means like squeegee type thing. Um, but yeah, we don't use anything notched. It's just to help smooth puddles. Like if you've ever seen raking of dirt, same concept. It just helps spread more. It's easier. So for beginners, sure, use it. We don't though. We use squeegees. We use firm 18-inch squeegees to do all base coats. All right, we're getting close. We're getting close, boys. I'm gonna answer probably 2, 3 more questions and try and get this wrapped up by 3:58 because I have a call at 4. So, last question or two. Again, if you guys are leaving right now, appreciate you. Appreciate anyone who stopped by, especially Jose and Lex for carrying this chat, for being my first time on YouTube. Would you say it all depends how you structure your business so you keep busy during the slow season? Yeah, I mean, it depends how much money you're going to spend on ads. Ads is a way to stay busy. It's you're paying for traffic. You're not relying on referrals, you're not relying on people to find you. You're paying to get in front of people who have actively been showing interest in epoxy flooring. So, um I think as long as you structure your business like any profitable business is make sure you're doubling down on advertising when advertising is returning well and knowing when to pull back on budget so you're not overspending on ads. And all that comes from his experience and taking time. Um, but yeah, that's just my opinion. I think marketing is the most important part of the business. Um, I would say it is because contractors they don't give a fuck about you. Like contractors so do not care about epoxy like subs. Like they do not care about us. We're replaceable. I don't like working with GCs personally. They pay out super slow. Like we have almost $10,000 that we finished a job over a month ago and we still haven't gotten paid for it. And it's like if I was a small business and I had bills to pay, I'm fucked. I wouldn't be able to pay my guys. I wouldn't be able to pay it on my credit card. Um, so work with GCs at your own discretion. They'll give you jobs, yes, but it's not like your job. You're working on their rules, on their timelines. Um, they run the show, so just keep that in mind. So I definitely rely on our own jobs through our own marketing and not through contractor connections. We got one more question, maybe one more question. Yes, I run ads on Instagram. That does not count as a question. We run ads on Instagram and Facebook. Those are the platforms that our ads get sent out to when we pay Meta. We do not boost post, FYI. We do not run ads from the app on Instagram. We run ads from the Facebook dashboard on our desktop. You can only access it by desktop. How big of trailers do y'all use to haul equipment? I think we have a 6 foot trailer. I think it's 6 feet long. It might be 4 feet by 6 feet, maybe. Nothing crazy. It's not massive by any means. And then we have a van that tows it like a Dodge utility van. That's also has like a lot of storage on the inside of it. But you only really need a big trailer when you all use do y'all have used grinders or vacs for sale? We bought our grinder used. Um, our grinder was initially like 15 grand. We spent 8 on it. Um, we bought our vacuum brand new. We spent like 4 grand on our vacuum, but it's so nice. But no, we have nothing for sale, unfortunately. There are shops, like, if you I don't have any names of shops for you guys, unfortunately, but I know there are people that, like, refurbish and, clean up old machines and resell them. Probably find them on Facebook Marketplace. What is the vacuum name? Fuck, I don't know. It's in all of my YouTube videos. If you go to any of my recent YouTube videos, it's like the red vacuum. I have no clue what it's called. Let me look it up, see if I find a picture of it for you real quick. So we have a Husqvarna for our grinder, our vacuum. Yeah. It starts with an F. I can't read the fucking label in this picture. Look at my YouTube videos. I have an answer for you, but I do have to blast. Um, I gotta hop on a call at 4. So I appreciate everyone who stopped by, asked questions, except for that one fucking guy that came in here, Jess. If you're Jess, hell, don't appreciate you coming in. Um, yeah, renting can be profitable. It is expensive though. Just keep in mind that. But if you have to rent, do it. But I wouldn't make that your main thing. Um, yeah, no problem, guys. I appreciate you for stopping by. Um, any questions, concerns, join a community or something. The best way to get in contact with me. Um, you can DM me, but I might be a little slow to respond. But that is it. Again, appreciate all you guys, and I hope I can do another one of these sometime again this year. But peace.